Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green. Welcome back to Metroid Prime. We have beaten Flagra and freed the ruins from its vile influence, but there's still more exploration to do. The fact we have the Varia Suit means superheated temperatures are nearby, so we have the proper shielding. If we go out here, we can grab ourselves an energy tank. Turn around and come back the way we came if we want to head to the next area. Plaza Access, that's the name of the room. We have the vault through here, which we can navigate pretty easily. And we'll make our way back through this little tunnel. And there we are. We will be able to head to that large elevator we saw. Just through here. So this is the elevator to the next area. Magmoor Caverns. Unsurprisingly, this is our superheated area. We'll step into this because we don't need to worry about going to transport access, and down we go. We will have to come back that way later on, but that's okay. There's still plenty of time. So, through this door, the beginning of Magmoor Caverns. Now, the music in the Burning Trail isn't quite Upper Norfair from Super Metroid, but it sounds as though it was inspired by it. Gave you the opportunity to listen for a little bit. It's a short piece, but a very enjoyable one. Setting the mood nicely. And we have an enemy scan. The Grisby, subvolcanic carrion feeder. Carapace can be breached by missiles. The Grisby's carapace has been fused together by superheated air. This barrier stands up to everything but concussive blasts. Its intelligence is limited to instinctive scavenging patterns. So unfortunately, we do have to get it out of our way. Kind of is a problem with all of Samus's adventures, sorry, so much local wildlife winds up dying. So watch out for those flamethrowers. We can deal with them later on. We can shut them down temporarily, but we can't destroy them. And we have another enemy scan. The Burrower, tunneling insect predator. The Burrower is similar to the beetle, though it prefers to spend more time underground. It seeks seismic disturbances, then surfaces to attack. It has enough cunning to realise when something is too large for it to handle. Beyond that, it is fairly ignorant. What it lacks in brains, it makes up for with aggression. So lock on, dodge its attack, and move forward. Just beyond this door, we might wind up hearing something very familiar. You'll know when those drums kick in. Alright, we'd better stop annoying the local wildlife because that is the classic theme of Lower Norfair. Which, admittedly, since I hadn't played Super Metroid, I didn't realise it came from there, but it's a pretty iconic theme. Kenji Yamamoto, the series composer, likes to add those little homages to fans throughout the series. Anyway, this is the Magmoor of Magmoor Caverns, fire-breathing serpent that dwells in lava. Magmoors prefer extreme heat zones and are susceptible to frigid attack forms. Sightless, they navigate the lava currents using their sonar receptors. Magmoors have a keen sense of smell, enabling them to pinpoint targets with startling accuracy. A couple of charge shots to the head will take it down. And we blew up a puffer by complete accident. I mean, I intended to because they're a bit of a danger, but these are puffers. Unstable gas-filled organisms will rupture on contact. Puffers fill their bodies with lethal metaviprium gas and float about in search of food. If ruptured, the gas within the puffer is violently released. Despite their fragile bodies, puffers are aggressive hunters. The gas cloud they release upon death is often fatal to the creature that brings them down as well. So basically, for puffers, kind of imagine a hybrid between a coughing and an electrode, and you're there. They're similar to the balls from Super Metroid. And there are preeds in later games which serve a similar role. There we go, that one's down. That should be sandstone in the wall there. So we can break through here and continue moving on through the cavern. Whoops, a little bit close. So I think there is actually something in there, but we don't have what we need to destroy it just yet. Don't fall in the lava because you'll take continuous damage. Interestingly, unlike Super Metroid, the gravity suit does not let us actually avoid taking damage from lava. While we're here, let's scan the Triclops, hard-shelled creature with powerful jaws. The Triclops is a hunter-gatherer. It collects small creatures and bits of foodstuff, then deposits them elsewhere for later consumption. The hardened tripartite mandibles it uses to move earth and rock are quite strong and difficult to escape once ensnared. You almost always wind up rolling into the jaws of the blasted thing. But the trick is to destroy them by baiting them into sucking up a morph ball bomb. Which unfortunately it did not let me drop fast enough, and they carry you all the way back there, you have to go all the way back in. That probably shouldn't have worked, but it did. Do not say we'll roll with it while you're in the morph ball, for heaven's sake, man, it's a terrible pun. Right, this area is the Triclops Pit, and there's a pickup we can make our way to get. Watch out for a selection of puffers through here. And we need to look for an entryway. Oh, there's a puffer. And another one. So we need to look for somewhere we can jump into the Triclops Pit. Not over this way, that's lava. I think it's over this way somewhere. But once we get in there, we'll know where we need to go. I just can't... Ah yes, here's where we go. Duck down here. And make our way into the pit. That should not have worked. I had the bomb. I hate these things. They always seem to they seem to have a better range for picking up the morph ball than they do for your bombs. It's either that or I just keep turning into their path, which is highly likely. So we'll... That shouldn't have worked either. So move around this left-hand edge with great caution. That worked, and then we go through here. So there are all sorts of interesting little secrets along the way that we can discover. Of course, one of the perks of a Metroid game. Explore everywhere and you never know what you're going to find. I mean, that characteristic is even in slightly more linear games like Metroid Fusion, because there is plenty of discovery to go through, but Fusion's not quite as big on the overall exploration. There is a missile expansion. There is also an energy tank we can get on leaving this area by the intended route. We'll make our way out of this little storage cavern and navigate the Triclops Pit. The morph ball was pretty interesting to work with, first off, at least as far as a design perspective went, because actually the developers, I think they found it a bit difficult to animate Samus crawling originally. Which did wind up happening in the end. It happens during the really annoying stealth section at the end of Zero Mission. I have played that and I absolutely hated that bit. Samus herself actually states that she thinks the paralyzer is useless. She's not wrong. It's just downright horrid to try and use. Anyway, we'll make our way out of here. So yeah, interestingly enough, it was that little animation, the fact that they couldn't quite get Samus crawling to animate properly, and they wound up making the morph ball. At least I think that's the case. There we go. So of course it allows you to navigate different areas, and it showed in the original Metroid that unlike Super Mario Bros, you could go left, and it was worth going left to try and explore because you could find all sorts of interesting things. Metroid was quite the expansive adventure. These upgraded turrets, no, they're still the same. Same auto defense turrets, but now they need 2 missiles. How to pick up that? So, we'll have to take out these turrets because this is evidence of space pirate activity. The pirates are always up to something. Interestingly enough, they've decided that the Magmoor Caverns are a very good source of geothermal power. They're surprisingly good about using alternate energy sources compared to other humans. If we look through here, there's a doorway nearby, and we can head this way if we want to wind up accessing another elevator to Tallon IV. We can also get a missile expansion this way. This is where Transport Tunnel B leads to, so if we want to head out this way, we can do so. But you might notice that part of this tunnel is damaged. Scans show stress fractures in Bendesium frame. Bendesium is destroyed by power bombs, and I think that is intended as a homage to Super Metroid and how you got into Meridia. So once we come through here, we'll be very close to another missile expansion. We have to make it past the Triclops over there. And of course deal with the Magmor. Which just has the knack of moving its head at the right time to avoid my attacks. Now if I get this right... Excuse me, it spits you right out into freaking lava. Irritating little mongrel. And it didn't even have the good grace to give me any energy. That's rude. So, we have to navigate through a different path. There's at least a bit of energy up there, but we can proceed through to the tunnel that leads to Talon, back to the Talon overworld, which I will do, but we need to travel along this, and the morph ball controls can be... I'm always a little bit afraid. Move very carefully and very, very cautiously. Slow and steady wins the race because... basically, get this wrong for Grunty's sake, then a lava bath you'll take. Drop down here. Well, that went a bit smoother than the last time I did that because I fell off a lot. It's probably no surprise. It's always very, very tense. I may be wrong. I do feel the morph ball controls can be a little bit twitchy, but it's also me. So we'll wait for those jets of flame to go away. I thought they'd be gone a little bit earlier. Interestingly, if you've only charged your shot part way, it won't quite do as much damage. Because 2 properly charged shots will wind up destroying a Magmor. So, here we are. This activates the elevator to Tallon IV. I keep calling it Tallon IV even though it's Talon Overworld. The whole planet's Tallon IV. We can't go through that way because we don't have the spider ball. So we'll head back. I'll meet you back at... the room is... the monitor station. Okay, so we made it here and I got hurt a lot because I wound up falling into the lava when I overcorrected and panicked. We have one more turret I can shut down, I'm pretty sure. But I'll observe that as we scale the cliffs over here. This will lead us to our next destination. That hurt a lot. Those are doing way more damage than I thought they were going to. Which makes me very hesitant to try for the energy tank that's ahead because you need very specific bomb timing and if you don't get it, you die. You start burning very painfully. No, there's no pirate data around here. But we are able to jump up there because this pathway leads us ultimately to the second artifact. That said, we're not going to be able to hunt them for a while. So, it's up here we need to go. And that happens to me a lot. So I've probably got one more shot at this. And I made it up there. So it's at least a bit safer if we screw up now. Oh man, I didn't think I was going to make it. Oh, come on! So that's the energy tank. Look, what I'm going to do from here... It's way too far to the next save station. Basically, what I'm going to do is clear the way for the next area, and then we'll come back to... Then we'll come back to get that. I'll show you at the end of the episode. So we've gone from the fire area to the ice area, Fendrana Drifts. That ice isn't a scan entry, but it can be easily shattered with our charge beam. And through this door... Perhaps one of the most beautiful and best regarded areas in the game. I'm going to pay more attention to the music next time. But we'll grab a scan while we're here. This is the Crystallite, which looks very similar, or at least it appears that Bergmite, the pre-evolved form of Avalugg, from Generation 6 of Pokemon, that's X and Y, looks very similar to this. Territorial Coldwear, the Scavenger. The shell of a Crystallite reflects beam weapons and can only be cracked by a concussive blast. They hang upside down in an ice cave during their larval stage. Moisture runs off its body and forms the hard shell which the Crystallite retains for the rest of its life. So it's basically like a cold weather Grisby. I'll stop here, get my health restored, and then we'll go and get that stupid energy tank. Till next time, and our little bit at the end, this is Red 2, returning to base.